Hello, Miss Moeller here, and today I'm going to show you how to divide using partial quotients. When students are dividing using partial quotients, they still set up the problem like they do as if they were doing long division, with 3 being our divisor and 702 being our dividend. However, the first step is actually for students to create a menu of choices for numbers that they can multiply by. So on our menu, no matter what your divisor is, your choices are always going to be 200, 100, 50, 20, 10, 5, 2, and 1. These are always on the menu because most students are able to multiply by these numbers easily and then use them when they are subtracting those parts away. Students can absolutely use other numbers. I just call that a special order. So if they wanted to use, for example, a 4, as long as they know what 4 times 3 is, they can use that. But these help give students a starting point. So if those choices are on the menu from 1 to 200, I have them actually multiply them out so that they know that 200 times 3 is 600, 300, 150, 60, 30, 15, 10, and 3. Excuse me, not 10, that would be 6. So when students are starting, they look at their dividend of 702 and then look over here at their menu to decide what number they want to get first. I tell them that they want to try to get the biggest that they can. So if I look at my choices, 600 is going to be getting me pretty close to 702. And when I subtract away 600, I want to put that I multiplied by 200 to get that. So 3 times 200 is 600. And when I subtract that, I'm left with 102. Again, I go back over to my menu, and I see that choices like 150 are going to be too big. But 60 is the closest I can get without going over. Again, if students are familiar with math facts, they may choose a number that is bigger, such as 30, but if they're not very familiar, this is a good starting point. So let's use 60. And again, they're subtracting these pieces away. This is why we call this partial quotient, because students are multiplying a piece and taking it out. It's piece by piece. So to get that 60, we multiplied by 20, and I'm left with 42. Again, I go over, look at my menu, and 30 is going to get me pretty close. So I'm subtracting away that piece. I'm left with 12. I used a 10 to do that. And here is a really good example of where students may kind of special order. I have 12 remaining. I know my math facts well enough to know that if I multiply 3 times 4, I can get 12, which will leave me with 0, which is what I'm trying to get to, or at least a number smaller than 3 if I'm going to have a remainder. Now I've got these numbers over here that are my partial quotients. So I'm going to add them together. And when I add up 200 plus 20 plus 10 plus 4, I get 234. This strategy gives students a lot of flexibility in using the numbers that they are comfortable with versus using the strategy of long division where they're kind of pigeonholed into using the numbers that we're used to. So it kind of gives them that freedom to use the numbers that they're comfortable with. This is the strategy that most students will use and we will be using in 5th grade.